We are now, are we recording now? Yes, we're recording now. The December 9th, 2016 Small Business Accounting Advisors. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
And Dennis wins the prize for getting the first snow of the season.
Yes.
Yay.
Yeah, right. Great. Tell about the time when I was working downtown Seattle, I left at 3 o'clock and got home at 11:30 at night.
Wow.
And in the process, I managed to lock my keys in my car with the engine running.
Oh, lovely.
Fortunately, I had an extra
outside in
set.
the cold?
Well, fortunately, I had an extra set of keys in my wallet. Otherwise, it'd be like, well, do I break my window or do I let someone else break my window and steal my car? You know, so.
Well, good for you for having an extra set.
Yeah, sort of learned.
And it takes once doing that.
Yeah.
Brandon.
Yes.
What are we talking today?
So Microsoft Dynamics 365, it was brought to my attention today that they are trying to get back into the accounting world after their last failure. It looks like they're targeting 10 seats and bigger. So it's not really the small market they're going after. They're going after the bigger, kind of the mid-sized market.
Ah, interesting.
And I did put a link over there. Yeah, they're getting into quoting, invoices, and payments, inventory management, and analytics.
Well, interesting. Their last foray into the accounting world was a failure. Although I do know some people that did use it for a little while. Eventually, though, they did give it up and did go back to QuickBooks.
And I think that's probably going to bite them. They're not going to get a lot of people jumping on board because the last time they did, they got abandoned.
Yep.
And they tried to get the accountants in with their MPAN program.
I was involved in that. This is like about 2006.
Right.
And I was a Microsoft partner at the time. And I went to one of the meetings and they were talking about the program. And I got up and started bitching about, well, geez, you know, how come you don't have any certifications because no one can find me? I said, well, we're thinking about have someone write an exam. Oh, by the way, would you like to help write it? So I and 4 other people, we spent about 3 or 4 days over on Microsoft campus and put together a certification exam to get the MPAN certification. And then the next year they had this big conference over at Microsoft and how everything was going to be. They're going to have all these, you know, integrations. They're going to do all this wonderful stuff. And then the next year they're going to have the conference again, and all of a sudden it got canceled at the last minute. And then it just sort of kind of faded away. And I figured, boy, I'm not going to spend a lot of my time and energy with Microsoft after that. I mean, they just basically, you know, abandoned it. And the guy that was facilitating our writing the instruction or the test, he was saying that think of Microsoft as a mother with a lot of small children. They're always clamoring for attention and, you know, getting funding. And whoever kind of yells the loudest can get their project funded. And I think that, you know, the
accountants aren't the clamoring type.
I guess, but to me they lost. Well, there was so much. It was actually a pretty good program, I thought, but there were things that it couldn't do, and that's when QuickBooks started giving away the free Simple Start.
Right. Which I miss, actually. I do miss that.
Yeah.
Oh, I hated it.
I didn't like Simple Start myself, but
well, what Simple Start did for me was it got clients started, so then I could make them have the real program.
Yeah.
Oh, you know, that's not a bad idea. Yeah, because the people that wanted to use it, it's like you were allowed like 5 names or something, or 10 names.
Right,
Well,
right.
you couldn't have payable.
And I said, well, you got to name all your customers have to be customer.
All your vendors, vendor.
Yeah. And then you got
But for
3
the
other names
small
left. or
clients,
something.
yeah, for the shoebox clients, it was a great way to get them on. And then once they were on for a year, they said, we need more. And then that would be when
Perfect. Yeah.
we would upgrade them.
Yeah.
And maybe that's why Marietta likes QuickBooks Self-Employed so much.
I think that's a totally different animal.
Well, they're starting to integrate it with QuickBooks Online.
Yeah, that's what I hear.
I mean, it's on this. It's on the certification test.
Yeah.
The self-employed is on the
Yeah,
certification?
Yeah, as one of the products.
Oh, yes, I did see when I took my certification that it was listed there. I think I got that answer wrong. So what do you think of the new Microsoft accounting, Brandon?
I really don't know that much about it. One of our team members, the ASG team members, is a Microsoft rep, and he's trying to get out of Microsoft. That's why he joined our team. But this was brought to his attention. It looks like it's $40 a user per month for the Dynamics 365 for the business edition.
Actually, if you're talking mid-market range, that is not bad. I mean, you're talking enterprise solutions from QuickBooks then.
Yeah.
Now that's what they call business edition. Enterprise edition is $70 per user per month.
And again, that's still not bad.
That's still not bad for mid-market.
Because if you got 7 employees, well, I guess it does start to get to be around the same price as enterprise then. Because you could have, I don't know.
Well, for enterprise, your intro cost, kind of like that, is what if you're going to jump on a monthly plan, you're looking at about $80 a user per month.
Okay. So we'll have to watch for it because I have seen nothing about it. I've seen no advertisings, no anything, and I could advertise that a lot.
Well, I'm going to watch for it and just see how it approaches the market. I'm not jumping off. I mean, I've got too much invested into it, but certainly not locked down. But I just don't want to spread myself too thin.
Right. I didn't like the learning curve on the original small business that they had. I can't imagine doing the larger. I mean, it reminded me more of the Peachtree Sage kind of software than it did QuickBooks. The fact that it didn't allow you, once you've made an entry, you can't go back and correct it. You have to do a journal entry to fix it. And sometimes journal entries didn't even work.
Right.
So yeah, hopefully they've fixed that part of it. Okay. So the Pro Advisor page, who was the one telling me that they went back and looked at you did, Brandon.
I did it, and I changed. Yep. I'll just have to add a new. What they want you to do is write it in a profile like on LinkedIn, and I figured I would just kind of copy what I have on LinkedIn, probably. So instead of having a check mark for this, that, and the other thing, they just want you to
have a bio.
Yeah, and that was easy, and I managed to get in there okay. So
Did you see where Microsoft bought LinkedIn?
Did they?
They've
Yeah.
owned it for over 6-9 months, I think.
No wonder how long it's going to take them to mess it up.
Well, they're working on it pretty good right now.
They did a pretty good job with Nokia, the Nokia integration.
They have no key integration?
Nokia, they bought the Nokia.
Oh.
Destroyed that brand.
Right. Yeah, who's Nokia? Wow.
Interesting.
And Brandon, what did you find on your profile after looking at it for you know, I've not gone and looked at mine yet.
Yeah, I just happened across QB Advisor, logged in and saw that my QBO had expired, my certification. So
Got it.
been going back in and retraining on all the newest features of QBO. So it's been a good process for me.
Awesome, awesome. Now, are you doing the training for the advanced QBO online?
Yes.
Adam had just posted something about a workshop happening not too long ago today.
There are a couple of workshops coming up in the next, I don't know, week or two, virtual conferences to get certified in QBO. But I've already started the training. We're doing it all online. So
I looked at the advanced QBO last year and I actually took one of the tests, and it seemed like there was no partial credit. It was either all or nothing on like a 5 or an 8-point question. I'm going, well, geez,
Well, from what I understand, you actually have to do the training first.
I did the training.
When you talk about advanced, everyone has their own way and their own methods of doing things. So you have to be in line and thinking along the same lines as the person that created the test.
I think because it's computer scored, they have to make it pretty rigid in terms of what they can, in terms of the answers. There's not a lot of flexibility for giving partial credit because you look like you were getting the answer.
right.
When I took the CPA exam, you could get partial credit if you had if your, computations looked like you would have gotten to the answer eventually. So that was said, prepare a well-documented computational worksheet because you get partial credit. Now it's like, when it's computer scoring, it's kind of hard to get partial credit, I would think.
And you only get 5 tries, and then you have to try a year later. That's killer.
And so far, what I've learned is with the documentation that they give you and the end of course questions, just the little, to see if you're paying attention, the answers are not in the knowledge base download, the documentation that they give you. It's interesting. So
Yeah, I think
training.
you have to look at it as an investment. How much of an incremental advantage is it going to be for you to have an advanced QBO versus the time and money and energy it's going to take to get it?
Well, that's been what's been stopping me is the time. I just know that I have 8 hours to dedicate at this point.
Right. I mean, it's like putting food on the table takes a little higher priority, I think, in terms of, billable hours.
Yeah, that's tough. That's tough to get through.
And for me, it's worth it to have, the certification. I've got to have billable hours too, but we've also got the managing the accounting success group. And I mean, there's our practice models are different than a lot of people's. So I find it advantageous to have the training under my belt. At least I know I have the knowledge out there, and if I can help somebody else with it, then that's my job. So
awesome.
Also, just as an update, they've been definitely updating their locations where they're doing the live training, and I was surprised they actually are coming to my little town, Rancho Cucamonga. Linda, did you see that?
No, I wasn't on that thing.
Oh, okay. So basically, the QBO Advanced Certified is coming to Rancho Cucamonga, which is like 60 miles out of LA. They're usually only hitting the big cities like Los Angeles, San Diego, but
Right.
they're actually coming to our city, which was a pretty big deal.
Wow.
When is that coming?
That's coming on January 3rd and 4th, I believe. Actually, Heather Setterly, I think is her name. She's one of the trainers that trained with Laura Redmond. She's so sweet. She personally sent me a message and said, "Hey, I'm coming into town, and I'm going to be training advanced." Yeah, so I told her I'm going to try to get some of us locals to go to the session just to hang out with them. I think it'd be cool.
Yes, it would be.
Absolutely. Mariette, they came just for you.
Aw, I hope so. They know how much I love them. Actually, I was on a webinar today. Gary was on there. I was hoping he'd actually give me some feedback today in this session, but I guess he's not on. So I was doing Intuit webinar today, and I was giving so much to so many people. I actually mentioned Joanne, I mentioned Ingrid, I mentioned my people, all you guys. Because, you know, you all do so many things, and so I'm a much loved person. I wouldn't be surprised if they're doing the training just for me because of all the times I tell them how much I love them.
I wouldn't be surprised either, Mariette. Awesome.
Actually, talking about training before we topics, I recently wrote a blog because, you know, I have so many people asking about all the training resources that are out. So many, like Intuit did this whole webinar series with Lacert Pro Series and Pro Tax Connect. I don't know if you saw that, where but it's not just on their software. It's like everything about readiness, getting ready for tax season, safeguarding your tax data, safeguarding your data, like 5 or 6 different webinar series for each different tax product.
Wow.
And there was so much going on, and like a lot of people weren't being aware of it. So I wrote a blog about how to obtain information, all these webinars, and you can go on to them, all being read. So there's so much training right now out there. I mean, outside of what I usually do, CPA Academy, all their webinars are like magnificent. It's really pushing their education for accountants right now. It's a very big deal. So definitely, their Pro Connect website about training. They also created a resource center called the Small Business Resource Center, where businesses and accountants learn. But if you go to my blog that I wrote on Between Wall and Main, I have links to all of these different places. So it's easier for you guys to find all of these.
Mariette, you're breaking up on us. I think we lost.
I lost you for a second.
Thought maybe it was me.
No.
Can you see me now? Can you hear me?
Can hear you now. So all your links are on Wall and Main. Where are your links?
So yeah, if you go to, I think I actually personally put the content, the link to the blog in our own SBAA Facebook page so you can find it, but I'll link it on this chat. If you go to Between Wall and Main, it's separated by either the topics that you want to read about or the contributors. So if you look up my name, the latest blog I wrote, it says, it's kind of this whole holiday thing. It says, "'Twas the night before busy season, learn and grow for your businesses." And it has all of the links in that blog. It talks about the Intuit link, CPA Academy link. I mean, I have been watching webinars, I'm not kidding, like 2 or 3 a day because there's so much out there. Dennis, did you watch that one on the federal tax update, which was like 2.5 hours? Did you see that one yet?
No.
Oh, amazing stuff. I mean,
who's it by?
That one was the CPA Academy, and they had like a couple, I think they had the IRS, and then they had a couple other like they had a tax attorney and a tax practitioner. But I mean, it was like no joke, 2.5 hours of like full jam-packed tax updates. It was unbelievable.
Nice.
You have to look for it.
Yeah, you know what? If you just go onto my Facebook or Twitter, I've already posted that particular webinar like 4 times. So I don't want people to miss it.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can find it there.
Nice.
Yeah, so yeah, it's definitely learning time right now. That's what I've been doing. What have you been? Have you been doing a lot of education stuff, Dennis, right now for tax season?
It's CPE season right now.
It is.
Well, end of the year. Getting all your stuff ready. Yeah, as well as the CPE. Tax planning. This is big tax planning time. You want to look at your numbers, compare them to last year.
Yeah, definitely.
You want to get all your 1099 information together.
Right.
Because this year, we've got to do everything by the end of January. We don't have until the end of February to file. So they've changed all that.
Prevent try to cut down the identity theft.
You think that's going to happen, or you think it's just going to make
Well, the reason is they're not going to give out refunds before, I think it's like the 2nd or 3rd week of February. So they wanted to get all the W-2s in so that they could there'd be less opportunity, supposedly, that it could get stolen.
Okay. Okay, I can see
At least,
that.
at least that's what I've heard. I mean, I've heard that from some people from the
But,
IRS.
but 1099s, oh my gosh, I can't tell you how many people call and say, hey, you got this wrong. Can you correct it? And you have the opportunity at that point, if you can, file at the end of February to correct it and get it.
Well, that was the original intent, was that if, it got sent to the wrong address, you'd have a chance to, correct it.
But if it's the end of January, you don't get that. So I wonder how many are going to be in there incorrect. Should be fun.
Yeah.
I just wanted to point out one thing on the 1099 stuff, is that depending on who you use to process your 1099s, some of them already have automatic extensions with the IRS, and they have the ability to file to the end of February.
Nice, nice.
So mine, the company that I used last year, my online 1099 stuff, sent me an email and said only for their clients that used them last year.
Wow.
Y'all have to the end of February to e-file.
So who do you use?
I think it's called wagefiling.com, which does W-2s and 1099s. It's basically $3.49 at 1099.
Wow, that's reasonable.
Yeah, because most of my people are just like one or two. I don't have anybody with a crap ton, because most everybody I've gotten them to pay people with PayPal or,
Right. So they get a 1099K from PayPal then at that point, and they don't have to worry about filing or anything like that.
Exactly.
Nice. Dennis, I keep muting you.
Why is that?
You're screwing. I can hear your water bottle every time you screw and unscrew the cap.
Okay.
Sorry.
Wow, you have a good microphone.
I guess.
No, you must be doing it by the mic, and it's unconscious, I'm sure.
Oh.
I'm sure.
Anyway,
Gina, I just want to say, Gina, that your hair looks on fleek today.
Oh, thank you. I just went to the hairdresser yesterday.
It looks amazing.
Thank you. Appreciate it. I am now totally out of my league and dyeing it myself. It's totally on her. So This is what she's doing for me. But I have to watch how much purple I wear now. I could be the crazy purple lady.
Nothing wrong with that.
No, I love purple. I do. But, because I love purple, I've bought a lot of purple clothes. So if I wear purple pants and a purple top and have purple hair, I'm looking like the crazy purple lady.
No, it looks like you just match.
Well, I'm enjoying what she's doing. I'm enjoying my hairdresser. So thank you very much. So did anybody get caught up on Monday with QBO being down?
No.
No?
No.
No. We don't have a lot of QBO users here.
Well, did they say why it was down?
It was the servers. I don't know what happened. Brandon, do you have any idea?
No, I actually didn't even know there was any downtime. So.
Oh, okay. Who was it that put up? There's a site that you can click on, and it will tell you the state of all of the Intuit servers. And it did say that QBO was down, currently having problems, and they were working on it. Really? I mean, really?
It's only been had it on market for about 10 years now, and you think they'd get things straightened out.
It's time for that to stop. Because when you have a schedule and you got things to do, and fortunately, I don't have payroll, any of my QBO clients on payroll. I have them all on ADP or paychecks, or I'd be really upset. Really, but the financial software, you can live with that being down better than you can payroll.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, and once QBO is down, you're not doing payroll.
I bet your desktop was working fine on Monday.
I didn't have any problems.
I didn't have any problems on Monday when I was working with my desktop clients in QBox.
Nice, nice, nice. You were fine. So,
Now, speaking of apps, though, somebody put a question on one of the Facebook groups, and it was like, "What's your favorite app that nobody knows about?" And
yeah.
there were lots of great answers. Of fantastic.
Oh my goodness, yes.
Yeah.
Well, she didn't specify whether they had to be business or not, so I put my personal one that I like a lot.
Yes.
So,
Which one was that?
my Cloud Observer. I'm actually part of a NASA Citizen Scientist Network.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's so cool to be part of a global thing where, you know, a bunch of people, it's like crowdsourcing for NASA.
So what's the objective?
It's to make sure that the weather is okay for the satellites. They're checking at lower levels as well as upper levels too. So they're watching the weather, down on the ground and the upper atmosphere too.
So what do you do? I mean,
basically take pictures of clouds and send them in.
No?
That's pretty good. You do this you must do it every day because you always have clouds back there in Pennsylvania. Don't you?
Well, it depends on how much time I have to play. And I've done it with interesting clouds, you know, if it's a cloudless day. The other thing that they're watching are contrails, like for jets and that kind of thing. And where I'm at, I do have a lot of them.
Oh,
So,
okay.
yeah, I have
It's interesting. There's all these people out here when they see the contrails, they think it's chemicals that the government is spraying to make us sick or something, or to stop the rain. It's the craziest thing.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like, really? Oh, yeah, you mean you haven't read all about this? No, I haven't.
No, it's just planes.
Well, I could probably become a cloud observer because we don't have very many clouds out here. We do occasionally, but...
Okay. Well, where I actually live is one of the highest spots in my area. So I get to see, you know, a good view around.
Oh, okay, good.
So that's my interesting thing. So what was your favorite app, Linda?
I think QBox is mine, but I didn't write it down because I didn't think it was very secret, although it's interesting. I introduced it to another lady named Heather, and she couldn't get it to work right for her. I really don't understand that because, you know, that TS is so great at answering the phone at all hours of the day and night and fixing things if you have a problem. So...
Well, maybe she should hire you, and you should just spend an hour with her and go over everything. Do a virtual.
Yeah, well, one of her clients called me in as an extra consult.
Okay.
And I'm very careful if I go in and help somebody else out with their client about inventory and that, I make very careful sure that I'm not going to take that client away from the other.
Right. I tend to copy the other person for every correspondence.
Yeah. Well, she was there with me, and we agreed on what to do and everything. So it worked out really well. But I could see somebody could easily get nervous about something like that. It's interesting. He really would like to have. He doesn't like any of the inventories that you can choose. You know, like the average cost is what Enterprise Solutions does naturally, okay? And I tried to explain that to him, you know, how it works in that, and how the date you enter things in are very, very important. And he seemed to really understand that. But he would like to know exactly the real cost, not the average cost.
Oh, got it.
And I've spoken with a number of people, and he could actually get some of that, but he'd have to pay quite a bit more money. I think he'd either have to get the advanced inventory, I think might be first in, first out, the one with QBES, and some of the others.
True, Brandon?
Was that?
The advanced inventory for enterprise?
Yeah. You can buy advanced inventory for enterprise solutions.
Yes, advanced inventory comes with the platinum package.
Okay.
And you get the choice, instead of doing average cost, you can do first in, first out.
That's correct.
Right, but that's not what he wants to. He wants to know how much he paid for the bottle he's selling.
Okay.
Anyway.
Yeah, I just did that whole.
They were making a lot of mistakes on. They put the wine. They buy the wine. It's a wine bottler, right? And he buys the wine and he buys the bottles, and then they put it in different bottles. All right, and then sometimes they'll take it, like from one bottle and move it to another bottle, kind of thing. So that's what I was telling you about, Gina. When you make it, instead of building an assembly as such, you do an inventory adjustment and you show, okay, I'm going to take 5 gallon-sized bottles and I'm going to turn those into 10 quart-sized bottles or whatever, 40 quart-sized bottle. And you put them in the same window on the inventory adjustment so that it zeros. So you see that the exact amount of wine goes out and the exact.
There's no difference in cost, right?
Yeah, because they were doing them on separate pages and they were making mistakes.
It's very easy to make mistakes in inventory.
Yeah. So, but if you put them in the same window, the in and the out, so that I've done that with another client of mine. I think it's the easiest way to catch your mistakes.
Kind of like a journal entry. It adds them up down at the bottom and you got to count to 0.
Absolutely.
If not at 0, you've made some kind of computation error.
Yeah, that's right. It is very much like a journal entry there. If you're off, it won't let you save it. So, yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, Linda, the other thing you tried to do was buy the Accountant Edition desktop for a client. Can
I
no
did.
longer do that?
And I was going to ask Brandon or Eugene. I think everybody here goes through Brandon. You're under Brandon. Because when I went to Amazon, it's not there. So I was going like, oh, they don't sell the Accountant Edition. Because that's separate from the industry specific. So I usually just send them to Amazon, but it's not cheap on Amazon anymore. I was wondering, I figured maybe Brandon could get an equal price. But I know the main reason I go to Amazon to tell people to buy it is that way it's easier for them to buy it and download it. But if your system works so that they can get it within 24 hours, my problem is if I show up for the appointment and they haven't bought the software yet, I can get them right to Amazon and then buy it and download it immediately. It's just a question of their internet connection. But I'm pretty much decided he probably should do that and just load the manufacturing wholesale edition, the Premier. He needs that because he's going to need groups. He's going to need inventory parts, inventory assembly.
Got it.
He builds guns. He assembles guns, and he has different barrels and different handles and all that kind of thing. So he needs.
The Accountant Edition gives you loan management, the loan manager, and depreciation and asset manager. There are none of the Premier versions that I know of that will give you that.
Right.
Correct, Brandon?
Yes, that's correct.
So what you can do, though, if you don't need those 2 features, is use the Premier Edition, and then when you go in and you're logged on to his database, there is a menu item that you can put your Intuit credentials in and log in as the accountant, and that will give you the accountant tools.
Yes.
Now, well, because we're in a group like that, I'll just, this is being recorded. So the QuickBooks Accountant 17 is actually cheaper. We can get it cheaper than, and the MSRP is the same price as the Premier.
Okay.
But the IRP cost, our cost on it is actually cheaper than it is for Premier 17.
Nice, nice.
I mean, it's not by a lot, but it is cheaper. So if Linda, if you want to reach out for that customer to Gina or Dwayne or anybody in our group,
okay,
then they can all hook you up or reach out to me. But certainly use anybody in here.
So can you sell Premier Accountant, or you'd have to do one of the industry specifics?
No, we can sell accountant.
Okay. The desktop, so we'd get now, because online it says you have to do the subscription for it to auto renew.
Currently, no, you don't have to do that. Now that's coming. That is coming.
I know.
But right now, it's not a subscription base, and don't know exactly when that's going to launch. That was a topic of discussion today during the IRP council meeting, but they're only wanting to sell its accountant edition to CPA firms, but it's not currently. It's not a requirement.
So it's currently not required.
That's correct.
There are, I think, Linda, one of your clients that purchased the desktop got the accountant version through.
Yeah, she's remember, she was an inactive CPA.
Okay,
and I think
so she was unofficially an accountant, or however you want to.
Yeah, she actually had the CPA documentation. She just had gone inactive, so she didn't have to do all the continuing education for a while. You know, when she goes back active again, but I've worked with her a lot of times, moving clients of hers from Peachtree to QuickBooks, and that we work together quite a bit. I like to consult with other people. I enjoy doing that. So.
Well, absolutely. I enjoy that too. That's what I love about this group.
Yes.
That we can be actually direct competition, but still work together, still work as trusted advisors in between each other, as well as trusted advisors to the client.
Right. Well, actually, Sarah did a bunch of work for me, Sarah Laidlaw, and she was going to bill the guy $80 an hour. I said, don't do that. I said, he pays me $100 an hour. I said, you got to be more than 100. She says, oh, wow. Well, this is Southern California, you know. And so she charged him $110 an hour, and it was like $660. We had to match up his balance sheet with his tax returns. And Sarah was the one to do that. So
as accountant.
And it was on QBox, so I just had her sign in. And oh no, I set up a sign in for her. Yeah.
Okay. Nice.
It was great. It was fantastic, and she could do it at her convenience.
Love QBox.
Yeah, I do too. And she got the work done. No problem. Everything matches up the tax returns perfectly. And yeah, it was great working with her. I enjoyed it very much. So
nice.
Linda, I have a question. Why would this client of yours that has the, I guess, manufacturing, the guns and whatever, all these assembly parts, why would he need an accountant's a version of QuickBooks?
Well, I was just thinking that with the accountant's version, you can toggle to any of the other versions.
Right.
And I would leave him running in manufacturer wholesale edition most of the time. But if I was over there and I wanted to do, like if I wanted to run the accountant toolbox or the other thing, some of the other things that aren't in the industry specific version, I thought that would be a real handy thing to have. And then I could toggle to the accountant version.
Oh, for you to use on his system.
Yeah, because he's just buying one. He's going to have one on a laptop, and I guess different people are going to pass the laptop around and use it.
I see.
So he has a laptop specifically for his QuickBooks.
I guess.
I don't disagree with that. I think that's a great idea. And I do have clients that I have told, keep your children off of this computer. You need to buy a specific computer for your work. Can't be the household computer.
Well, I warn people, yeah, you've got to be very careful. One of the ladies keeps getting like all kinds of malware and all that kind of stuff on her. Oh, we got that client of mine that was wireless. They're now hardwired.
Perfect.
Yay! And they're noticing it is a little faster.
Good.
But yeah, the malware is coming in, attacking people really bad. I'm glad I have my ESET Nod 32, but
nice. Yes, I've seen an increase too. And I actually got a call from a scammer. And as much as I didn't want to lose control, he started cussing at me first. So that left him open.
Can I mention to all you QBox lovers that QBox is actually talking about education. They're going to start their own, and Joanne, if she's still on, she probably could put her 2 cents in. They're going to start their own educational series on working with the QBox and desktop, and just, you know, really still, if you want to continue to embrace desktop and of course still cloud integrations as well. They're going to really start working with people that are still working on the desktop and how you can still create, you know, a lot of integrations, but with the desktop solution. So they obviously, for their purposes, to, you know, keep people encouraged on their solution, but just because there's still a lot of people that love that product and want to still work efficiently and don't want to be abandoned. So they're going to actually create this new like learning campaign about working on the desktop and still being able to integrate products. That's coming soon for all those QBox lovers.
That's
They're going
awesome.
into education as well.
Are they
Coming in January.
January they're starting?
January 2017. Yep.
Nice.
do we have a speaker for January yet?
We do not.
We don't have any for any of the months.
No, we don't have any coming up. Maybe we should have Chris come back
I
on.
could ask TS if he knows a time that would be a good time. Now, I'm going to be absent 2 different Fridays in January, toward the end of January, the 13th and the 27th, I think. So, but that'd be nice to have him in either January or February, because there's a bunch of us here that use it, and that's always nice to have.
Nice, nice.
No, and I think
Go ahead, Mariette. Mariette must have having technical difficulties. So my question is it to the accountants that use QBox, or is it
pretty cool that they're
Mariette, you're fading in and out.
oh great, not again. Sorry.
Sorry about that. Fran? Yeah, we.
I'm gonna log.
Got it. I don't think they care who uses a QBox.
Well, it will be different for an accountant than an actual user. I mean, not really, but a user would only have their files on there, where an accountant would have their clients' files. So the use is a little bit different.
Oh, I see. Well, that depends on who pays for it.
But the education series, are they geared towards the accountants or towards the user?
I would assume it's geared toward accountants.
Yeah, it's geared toward accountants for sure.
Towards the
Pay by the folder.
Yep.
We'll have to look for that and let people know when it's happening.
See,
Yeah,
now
I'll send it out.
Great, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So what else do we want to talk about today? Any subjects? Dwayne, you've been silent over there. What's happening, Dwayne? You're muted. You have to unmute. Let me see if I can
Oh,
Bottom left-hand corner.
just work, basically.
just work.
Just work and making sure I stay on top of it, you know, and keeping the clients happy.
That's a tough job during the holidays. How
Yeah,
do you
it is.
balance?
I don't know. I just try to balance it the best I can.
Okay.
And this is our slow season.
And this is our slow season. Right.
Yeah, yeah. Also, you know, trying to stay on top of the CPEs.
So did CPE season for you too?
And it's renewal time for the P10s and for my EA. So, you know, all of that.
Get ready for tax time next year.
Now, all of you do know about the free CPA accountant.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Actually,
Because I take lots there. I don't
Yeah.
need CPEs.
yeah. But, you know, they started awarding CPEs for enrolled agents in this summer. So that was really good, you know.
Got it.
I heard that I was at a county meeting on Wednesday, and I heard that they are getting posted by the IRS because their system's broken. Have you heard that?
Yeah. You know, I was on an update this morning, and Scott said that they were having a problem posting up the CEs because the IRS website was down.
Yeah, it's been down for a couple months apparently.
Yeah.
I think they've run out of,
So,
run out of money.
they're telling the CPAs and EAs that, you know, don't lose your hair over the fact that maybe not everything is posted onto the website, but that actually the IRS is going to ask you for an estimated amount that you have taken during the course of the year, and they're willing to accept it. Can you believe that?
Wow.
Well, I was at a IRS symposium last month, and they were telling us that the IRS doesn't have any money, and so the Seattle office their legal counsel had to drop about 15 cases because they couldn't afford to buy the software they needed to prosecute.
You're kidding. That's amazing.
No.
That's nothing. Wait till Trump gets in there.
Wow.
Yeah.
So those 15 people got off scot-free. They were
Apparently,
lucky.
yeah. Apparently. Well, I guess the IRS is going to it's called future state, and they're going to rely a lot more on the internet and people sort of self-serve, so to speak, self-service, which I think is going to be an utter disaster.
Well, I do too, because nobody can understand what the IRS is saying. They don't speak in the same language that the rest of us do.
Well, Dennis, have you heard about the whole identification process that they're having in terms of you reconfirming?
Yeah, I've heard about that. I tried to do it and I couldn't do it. I mean, it's like their system wasn't working, so I thought, well, screw it. I'll wait until I absolutely have to worry about it.
Right. Yeah, it sounds like it's really convoluted and complicated.
Well, you're supposed to get a text message to confirm it, and apparently there's some problems with that. And when I tried to do it, they didn't have a record of me. It was some crazy, IRS system. I'm just thinking, man.
I've heard people are getting letters saying that the IRS doesn't have any information on them. They had to come down to the office in order to verify who they were.
Wow.
So it's going to be really interesting in the next 2 to 3 months. So
I guess that's one way of getting the cell phone.
So Gina, that's all the dynamics that are going on now for both me and Dennis. And Joanne as well, I would imagine.
Mariette also.
Yeah.
And Mariette also.
Yeah.
Yeah, what did I miss? Because it sounded like it was pretty important. Can you do the quick
Well, I was
note?
saying that the apparently for EAs, the IRS has a system for the IRS approved webinars, and you're supposed to upload your EA CPE. And I was told at our last accounting meeting that the system's broken and they haven't been able to upload the files.
The honor system now.
So they haven't been able to upload for a couple months now, and.
But is this if you are trying to renew, if you were in the renewal period? Is that what it's
Apparently,
Well,
if I'm not an EA.
Not only renewal period for the P10 as well as the EA. Mm-hmm.
I've never had to upload anything when I renewed.
Yeah, mine is all paper. Like I just
All I do is fill out a form and click the box. Did you have the continuing education? And I'm like, yeah. And then they never came back and asked me, and they sent me my form.
That's exactly how I've done it as well. I mean,
I've never had to upload anything.
It's like my state CPA society. You just have to say when you renew your license, you just have to say, yeah.
Did you?
But you
And
are.
I just recently did my renewal this year, like earlier.
Yeah, mine's not up for another. I did mine like a year and a half ago.
Okay. Mine. So, Mariette, you did your renewal this year?
I did it this year. It always renews May, so it was May of.
May. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe this is new. This is newer than May. This is more recent, maybe.
Have you all tried to renew your PTIN yet?
I did my PTIN already too. Yeah, I did mine 2 weeks ago.
I did mine.
Oh, I think I did mine. I think I did mine already.
I did mine back in October.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Dennis, you're fast. October? Wow, that's good.
But my EA CPE stuff I do through Fast Forward Academy. And so whenever it's like literally, I think it's cheap. It's like $97 or something like that. And you get everything you need for the year. And they tell you that, they give you an option for the courses. And then once you complete the courses, it automatically sends it up to the IRS if you want.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a good deal.
Yeah, it's pretty cheap. And it's good stuff. It's good. They give you the downloadable PDFs. You read the stuff, you answer the questions. It's not, and they cover a whole bunch of different topic areas, obviously, including the minimum ethics that you need.
But I did hear, Joanne, that everything was going to go electronic. So maybe that's what's happened. Maybe they're doing the transition and everything's going electronic.
Well, I was just assuming that was just like a bonus thing that this company was offering. I didn't even think twice about it because, like I said, the last time when I updated my EA, they just ask you, how many did you have this year, and this year, and then you just fill it out and then send in the form. So. Because I have a lot of other stuff that's not connected to there, other, free CPE that I took, but I just have those saved as certificates, on my computer. They didn't get uploaded anywhere.
Well, they got recorded though, right? No?
Yeah, I have a record of it, yeah.
Yeah.
Misha's with us. She must have gotten her technical difficulties fixed. Her computer was giving her a hard time. No.
I'm on my phone.
On the phone. What's happening with your computer?
No idea.
No idea. You're going to let it rest for a while?
I'm going to massage it a little.
I dropped it on the desk a couple of times.
No, you're so violent, Dennis.
Misha, do you know do you have like little slots in the front of your computer?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if you go grab some mini M&Ms and you shove them in there and feed the man inside, he will get your computer to work.
Yes. So, well, I think what's been happening is I can't the second major Windows 10 update hasn't been going in because of some video content or something I had on a computer that has outdated technology or whatever it is. But how the hell was I supposed to know that if they didn't tell me? I don't even know how I saw the stupid message thing, but I saw the stupid message and it said that the thing had something. So I went in and I deleted, because I don't use it for that anymore. So I deleted that. I mean, I have like a few songs and stuff in there, but they're like old songs. So I deleted that, and then I found some other thing on the internet that said to clean out something and put a decimal point someplace. So I did that, and now I'm trying to do the thing again, and we'll see. I restarted it like 4 times, and yeah.
If the M&Ms don't work, try Red Bull.
I guess I'm gonna have to do something.
I hope it works okay, Misha, because what happened to me is when I uninstalled Slack, it deleted some really important Windows programs, and I ended up having to take it into a shop and pay $50. It deleted, what it did for me when I uninstalled Slack, it deleted my local area network, which is what connected my computer to the router and everything, which is why I couldn't get on the internet either. And
I knew I hated Slack
really
or something.
Slack, it would delete.
That's why I'm afraid of deleting Slack.
Well, so the good news, Linda,
Yeah.
I don't have Slack on my computer. Oh,
Well, no, but you don't know that if when you deleted that other thing, if it didn't.
Delete an important driver or something.
I deleted. Are we recording?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so I deleted this thing that I shouldn't have had on my computer in the first place.
I hear you. I kind of feel that way about Slack. I feel like.
But it wasn't a software. It was a thing.
It was a video file that we can't really speak about. Is that what you're talking about?
It was an audio file, and I wasn't supposed to save on my computer.
Dwayne, cover your ears.
Well, I just hope that you're able to fix it, okay? After I couldn't get on the internet for 2 days, I took it to the shop and the guy.
Oh, trust me, I have no problem getting on the internet.
Oh,
But
good.
the update, I think the thing is, I need the Windows update to run QuickBooks because it's a .NET thing that I have to fix.
Yes.
That's stopping the update from happening with QuickBooks. So when I get the new updated stuff from Windows, then it should work.
Yes.
So the majority of the group here is not Slack users, it doesn't sound like. I was going to ask if the Slack and Google integration is going to be a good thing.
I don't know. I can't stand Slack.
Oh my God, I am a Slack lover. I can't live without it. I can't live without Slack. It's the best thing since.
I hate Slack.
Candy, I love it.
It's just
I hate
a
it.
personal thing. That's
We
all.
tried using Slack for our group. We tried using Slack before we tried the Facebook group. No one would use it. No one would use it. So we ended up with Facebook. That's how we got the Facebook group.
Yeah, I think it just really depends on how you use it. Like, for me, it's a productive tool. Since I'm doing, like, in one day, let's say I'm working with 5 different groups, and I'm talking, maybe I'll work with the BWAM group, then I'll work with Intuit, then I'll work with my media guy, then I'll work with my web designer, then I'll work with, like, these financial advisors that I'm doing insurance and financial advisory, and all of that is in Slack. So there's never an email, there's never a text, rarely a phone call. It's just going to Slack, going into whatever topic we're in with our channel, and then discussing that. So all in one place, and so it's almost like I could be 5 people at once in Slack, which there's no other tool that allows me to do that, other than sending 1,000 emails back and forth. You know,
Google's to do that.
How do you use Google to do that?
I have a separate user set up.
Oh yes, I do that too.
And then I kind of use Google as my CRM. I have a separate user called Client Emails. Mm-hmm. And each one of my clients has their own email. So when they send me the information, they're using that, and it keeps it all together in the same place.
Right. I love that. I actually use Google Users, and I have when I'm an accountant, I'm in the accounting Marriott, and when I'm a tax, I'm in taxes with Marriott. When I'm Marriott Consulting, I'm in Marriott. I mean, I have those, but I don't want to have to go into every user and go into every email box. I just want to have. That's why, again, Slack lets me go into Slack, and I can be all those 5 people in Slack. So, but I agree with you. Other than Slack, I would do it exactly the way you do. I would go into the actual Google user that I wanted to be at that moment, and then I would work in there. But still, I had to go into the user, go into the email, go into the CRM or the contacts. I don't have to do any of that now. I just go into Slack, and I have all those 5 different kind of titles all at once. At one click. So that's why it's like unbelievable. For me, that's how it works, and how I'm able to actually piece all this stuff I'm doing together without tearing my hair out because that's what I feel like sometimes. I'm like, like today I did a webinar. I was on the call with the QuickBooks Self-Employed team. I'm on the call with you. I work with Seth. So like I was in so many different places. That would have drove me nightmare if I wasn't kind of doing it in a way where I feel I'm under control. But other than that, yeah, the other place I would do it is through users. That's exactly how I do it as well.
Well, I think setup is key, and I think that's where my fail is. I've never really taken the time to set it up properly. So
or something like it. I mean, maybe not that particular one, but like at this point, I've never found any tool that can allow you to place so many rules at once and still work productively. And then I think also people realize that in Slack, you're not there to mess around, even though it's called Slack. You're there to be productive, chat about what you want to chat about, and then get in and out of there. This is not Facebook. This is not, we're not there to like hang out. I literally have told people when they start kind of direct messaging me, I'm like, if this is like for fun, send me a Facebook message and I'll look at it later. Like we're there to talk business.
Well, that was the other thing is the notifications. I was notification to death.
Yeah. Yeah. But you can mute that stuff. Remember I showed you guys last time? You can mute what you want to hear and what you don't want to hear because that will also drive you crazy. You have to really, you can join, like for instance in Slack, it's channels, but then you can mute all the stuff that's not important to you. Like for instance, the Between Wall and Main Slack, I'm not kidding. I think Seth made like 50 channels, which is ridiculous. But yeah. I only listen to the 17 Hats channel and the Self-Employed channel. All the other ones are muted. But when someone talks about 17 Hats or Self-Employed, I want to know because that's what I'm really working with, especially even from like the development side. I'm talking to the vendors about it. So when they talk about that, I want to know. When they talk about anything else, I don't care. You know what I mean? Like if I have time on my phone, I'll look at it. But other than that, I don't, like you said, I don't want to be notified because I'm not going to make money looking at something about workflow or Jetpack workflow, any of those. That's not where I'm spending my time or my money. So,
absolutely. Yeah. So it comes down to setup again.
Absolutely. It comes down to learning and investing the time in the setup, which sometimes we feel like, oh God, I don't want to do that. But I mean, again, if you do invest the time in the setup, it's like, for me, it's literally Slack, Smartsheet, 17 Hats, and then Google. Like that's what's my top things. It used to be just Google and then 17 Hats, but now Slack is actually number one above all of those. But just because I've found it in a really good place for me to be like productive. If not, I get it. If it's like a nightmare and you're not getting it, get out of it because then you're wasting your time.
See, for me, what I found was happening with Slack is that I found it was just way too, even though I shut off a lot of things, I still thought there was way too much noise and the stuff that I was seeing, it wasn't like relevant to me and it was just like another notification that I had to deal with. And I was just like, I'd rather just, if I want to learn something about X, Y, and Z or talk to somebody, I'm already on Facebook. I might as well just do that in Facebook in that group and not have to go into another software to do it. So, and I'm just so I'm amazed, honestly, on how a lot of you people spend. I am working like night and day. Like I don't have time to do any of that stuff. I'm working on so many projects already that it's like I can't even. Like I probably would love it if I embraced it and took the time to implement it, but Honey Badger just don't got time for that right now.
But Joanne, I think that's what, like for me, I'll just say, like I felt the same way. I felt like it was taking time away. But then when I realized that I would be working on different projects with different people, trying to make money, but then like going through 5 hours of emails to find, okay, so I got to find this project I'm working with this team. Let me collect all their emails. Let me see where we're at and blah, blah, blah. That was such a waste of time where I could just go into the topic in Slack, go through like 5 minutes of what have we been talking about, and then boom, start the project.
Yeah. But the thing is, though, is that a lot of stuff that you're doing is kind of unique to what you're doing and not what a regular tax or accountant practitioner is doing. You're doing more industry stuff and you're doing more with vendors where where my projects that I'm working on are projects where, I mean, it's not, I'm trying to make money. It's like the money's rolling in. I got people that are, inside of Facebook groups that are, purchasing webinars and stuff, and I got to manage onboarding those people and stuff. And I don't really see that that's something that I can do with Slack.
Right.
But
exactly.
yeah. But it's so, again, it depends on. I could see it where it could be like a great like research tool if you wanted to look up stuff. But then again, I started thinking, well, shit, everybody's talking about stuff in the Facebook groups too. So if I wanted to look up something, I could always search a conversation inside of all these Facebook groups because we've all talked about the stuff time and time again,
But, and I agree. And you know what I felt though, from the perspective of like, I guess, regular accounting or tax work is that I've also, and I learned this from that one Seth webinar on Zoom on Slack, is that I'm also encouraging my clients to go on Slack though, because I don't know about you, but during tax season, they all of a sudden think that text messaging and Facebook messaging and like 1,000 emails is a good way for us to communicate. And that's not going to happen anymore. And so I already told them, if you want to send me messages and stuff, you got to get on Slack, and that's how I'm going to read it. If not, you got to follow my workflow. So when you get the email that says send me your documents, send me them. You know what I mean? Like, or check the list. Like, I don't want to have like 40 emails from you for one darn tax return that I'm charging $350 for. Like, that's not going to happen anymore. So I'm considering it as a tax
that'll take like one, like for me, like last tax season for me was when I went through that, when everybody started with bringing in all the tech stuff, it's like they got educated how to communicate with me. So so those type of messages were minimal. And so, as long as you take like, if this is like the first official tax season that you're doing with, it'll take the tax season to get them used to the new method that you're communicating. And they do it that way or they just don't communicate with you. I had a lady the other day, I'm trying to get her, she's an older lady, I'm trying to get her to stop texting me because she knew that I would immediately respond. So the last time she contacted me, she sent me a text. This was like a month or so ago. And I said, can you do me a favor? It's best for you to email me because that's how I handle my tasks. Because as soon as I see an email, I send it to my Trello. And that's how I deal with, my task stuff. So this month she texted me, I ignored her. For 3 days and then she sent me an email and then I responded to her.
Yeah.
So it was kind of funny.
Well, no, I do think that's important to let your clients know how you prefer to be contacted. I don't want phone calls unless I specifically ask for it. If I go to a training session and I say, you're going to work on this for the next week or so, if they have a question, I do want them to call me because it could take sometimes 3 minutes getting them started and back on track.
Yeah, because the worst one for me, which I'm finding now that I have to move people from, is the people that are reaching out to me via Facebook, because I have a ton of people that are like friending me on Facebook and then emailing me saying, hey, I heard you know a lot about Facebook ads. Can I book a session with you? Or, hey, I know so it's like I have to immediately say, I'll point them. I'll say, email me and I will send you a link to my scheduler. So they email me, then I can add them to my Nimble. And then I'll send them the link to book the pay for and book the session. So it's like now you got to deal with the people on Facebook and get them. Okay, let's get off this social platform and get into where you can communicate and get them onboarded and capture all that information.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, just to tie it all together, because Brandon brought this up. Brandon, and this is another reason why I use Slack, is its integrations. Of course, once you really get in there, it's integrations with Dropbox, with Google. So like, I'll give you an example. So I work with these advisors and we have a lot of documents, like documents that we have to share with our clients. And so we're able to bring all those documents, like we're talking in Slack and all of a sudden I want to pull up a doc. It's already integrated with Dropbox. So I can bring in those links to Dropbox right into our conversations.
Nice.
So yeah, the integrations with Google, with
and
Dropbox.
How does it integrate with Google?
Well, that's something that I'm just learning about.
New, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just learning about it. Actually, I think I I tagged some people on some Facebook posts saying, hey, have you guys been playing with this yet? So I'm barely going to start, but I'm assuming there should have some basic email integration, like Gmail integration. Obviously, it already had G Drive, Google Drive integration. That's simple, just pulling up documents from Google Drive. So that's really simple. But I'm hoping there's some Gmail integration, because then, like what you said, Joanne, and even what you said, Gina, it pulls in that whole, let's say the tasks are more from the email, but then you can bring that task from the email into the Slack. Oh my God. That's like,
and then have the documents there too.
Yeah. So that's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping there's some kind of Gmail Slack integration. So I'll
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
I had a client email me. Like this was a person on extension, and I'm going back and forth. Never responded to the email that I had originally sent, telling them what I needed. It finally did, and going back and forth, I'm like, I resent the email. This is what I sent you. Here's what I still need. And the spouse emailed me back and said, I don't do well with collapsed emails. So if you need anything, send me a new email. I said, I was like, what now? I'm like, you don't work well with collapsed emails? So I'm not supposed to do a reply all to any email. Like every time I need something, I have to send you a fresh email.
No, you should have sent her. You should have sent her. Let me show you how to. Let me Google that for you. I'm going to take off your conversation. She's talking about the conversation in email.
Okay, so Mariette, I yet to reply. I have not replied to that email.
Well,
honey Badger, don't play that.
That would have been a let me Google that for you opportunity.
Oh, honey, no.
I know.
Hell no. She is a professional in a professional environment. You're telling me you're going to tell your boss don't send you collapsed emails, but you're going to tell it to me? Hell no.
Yeah.
So she's not. So she's not a good client of yours?
She's a client and a friend.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Uh-oh. There's the friend word.
She's a client and a friend.
Special treatment, and that's why she wants to text.
So that's why she didn't get a reply.
Ah, got it. But it's
because if I had replied to her, I would have been stank.
Hey, Brandon, just curious, have you played around with it?
With Slack?
With Slack and Gmail? Or
not.
Google, excuse me. Oh, you haven't?
Not.
Okay.
I need to.
Are you planning to?
If that will buy me as much time as you seem to have, I'm all over it.
I seem to have a lot of time? Oh my God, thank you. That's a compliment, you guys. Because my husband seems to think that I don't stop ever. He's like, oh my God.
Do you know how many groups I participate in and how many times your name gets brought up? It's ridiculous.
That's funny. Well, tell them I love them all, and that just keep, you know what? Let them think I have a lot of time, because then they're going to think I'm the most productive person in the world. That's good. Keep it going. Hashtag Mariette is very productive. Only my real peeps. We shouldn't be recording anymore, but only my real peeps know how crazy I really am. I don't sleep at all. Oh my gosh, seriously.
Yeah, I don't think you or Seth do.
I'll just tell you.
That's funny. Well, definitely let's share information on that, Brian, if you get into that, and I'll share with you.
All right, sounds good.
Awesome. Anything else anyone wants to talk about before we end for today? We're a little bit over time. No? Silence?
No.
Okay.
Nope. Into a busy week.
Yes,
are we taking any time off for the holidays? Are you going to take a couple Fridays off, or is it going to go through?
It's going to go through.
Okay.
Yes. Even Christmas Eve. Christmas is on a Sunday. No.
So the 23rd?
Pardon?
The 23rd then.
So, yep.
And New Year's Eve, the 30th?
Yep.
Oh, that's actually not New Year's Eve. That's the 30th.
It's New Year's Eve.
Yeah, it's New Year's Eve.
New Year's Eve.
The New Year's Eve.
New Year's Eve.
So, yeah, we'll be,
We go on New Year's Adam.
Pardon me?
We go on New Year's Adam.
New Year's Adam, not New Year's Eve.
New Year's Adam. Oh, because he came first. Oh, that's funny. I like that. I'm gonna have to use that one.
She's gonna use that, and there's gonna be a mem. There's gonna be a mem with one of Mariette's kids. holding something that's going to do
It's
hashtag.
gonna have a paper. It's gonna say a paper and it's gonna say it right there. Hashtag. I'm gonna do it just because Joanne said that. Just because Joanne said it, I'm gonna get it out there.
And she's going to tag me in it.
That's right. Hey, I showed Joanne a lot of love today. I can't wait till she listens to my recording of the webinar.
Well, before you get off, though, Mariette, I mentioned you on Facebook, though. I went and clicked on the link, and it told me to register for the January one. How do I get to the replay to the one that you,
I responded back. You didn't read yet. But
I've been in here.
See?
Enamored.
I've been in here, too.
I've been in here, and I'm on my phone, and I got my doggy here, and I'm enamored with Gina's hair, so I just haven't.
Okay, all right. I'm going to have to accept that excuse. No,
Nothing happens until fish happens on Friday for Joanne.
The recording.
I didn't have fish tonight.
Oh.
I bought fish for the family. I'm having something else.
Okay.
So when it comes up, Joanne, I'm going to go ahead and obviously, like you said, post it all over the world. Use my buffer. Hashtag you on it. Tag you on it.
Oh, my God.
Everyone will know that it's up, and everyone will know how much love I showed you. So you don't have to worry about it. Go to sleep, and you'll wake up to, like, tons of notifications.
I hope so. I just want PayPal notifications that I've got money.
No, you don't know how many times, you guys, when I send something to Joanne, and I'm like, oh, Joanne, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. She's like, oh, that's fine. I'm making money right now. I'm all excited to tell her about things that I'm doing, and she's like, oh, I'll get into that, Mariette, after I stop making money. Right now I'm making money.
Well, it was fun. We have to end with this as I have a private group that I'm running with some people, and I put a post in it the other day that I just made $200 in 6 minutes, which converted to $2,000 an hour, and I then I said something about and I made another $125 while I was sleeping, and everybody was like, "You got to show me how to do that."
Awesome. You rock, Joanne.
Joanne puts me accountable because she makes me feel like I was all excited. Oh, so how much money did you make? I'm like, damn it, don't ask me that.
I'm all about the passive revenue. If I can sleep in and wake up in the morning with 20 PayPal notifications, it's a good day.
We're working on it. We're working on it, Joanne.
Awesome. So we are going to end on that note. So everyone have a wonderful weekend. Stay safe. See you next week. Same time, same place.
You too. Bye, guys.
All right. Have a great weekend, everyone. Bye.